Hello there, welcome back to the channel. Today's little section is pretty much my 5-minute take on the UK 2026. Is it getting better or worse? Something that dawned on me in early December, was that I'd been here for 27 years. I immigrated here in 1998 and got my citizenship in about 2006. And it was an incredible day for me. I really enjoyed it, I worked hard at it, and 27 years later, I'm sort of standing here in January and looking sort of for the rest of this world going, what does 2026 really hold for UK and its citizens? Now there's a hell of a lot of topics I could discuss. So I'm only going to pick on a few that I think are probably going to be very critical to where the UK goes and how this is going to affect us. I think the biggest thing is it's come about the last 12 months, and this is off the back of global conflict, off the back of Donald Trump and all kinds of other things, that the UK pretty much is irrelevant, much like Europe. I think we have lost our way on the international stage, and it's through our own doing, undoubtedly. But the best days of European history are now a day over, and we're a bit of a laughing stock. We're wedged, and I don't think we know where to go. And I'm talking this from a European perspective here too, between the Americas, that's Canada, America, Mexico, and South America, who seem to be forming not formally yet, but a region. And then we have the other side of the multipolar world, which is Russia, China, India, Japan, and the Far East. And if you look at growth, if you look at development, if you look at resilience in the world, they seem to be so far ahead of us, and the trajectory of travel seems to be way better of us. We seem to be stuck navel gazing and not being able to get out of anything. We've got stunted growth like I've never seen before in the 27 years I've been here. Limited development. We aren't innovators anymore. Yeah, there's the odd thing. People can put in the comments, oh yeah, we invented this and we got this, but on a global scale, yeah. We nowhere, because we have bureaucracy and overregulation, and so we're falling away. We are scaring away investors. We're scaring away entrepreneurs who want to invest, who want to develop stuff. But it's easy to cross the ocean or go to Dubai or whatever, where people are more welcoming of aspiration. We seem to have lost that and we're losing people all the time. I mean, you look at the numbers of it's because of labor, but it's been happening all along. Young people are finding they can have better opportunities overseas. Why aren't we creating, the opportunities? And if you look at the budgets, you look at the economic growth, it's stagnant. We're just bouncing along on the border of a recession. We just don't seem to be able to get anywhere. And I think this has to do with conservative. We have weak labor, is incredibly weak at the moment. Not that the Conservatives are better, not that any of them are better, but we seem to be stuck between China and America over a few islands, and Greenland and Chagos, and what happened to all our strong leaders? I look around, you look at the House of Commons, the House of Lords, you look at people on the talking heads on TV, there are no strong leaders, and I think we just have lost our way totally. I mean, the economy is so in the toilet. The cost of living has gone up like I can't tell you since the days I've been here, especially in the last 12 months. Energy is a major problem, and we just don't have any strategy. We have no way out. We have this nonsense, net zero, which, don't get me wrong, wind can play a role. But for 30 odd years, we've been subsidizing wind and solar even. But if you have to subsidize an energy, it's not a workable solution, in that if it can't stand on its own 2 feet, that it constantly needs subsidization. Europe's having the same problems. I mean, they're throwing out nuclear, which is, yes, it takes time. But, and I understand people say you just go outside and the wind and the sun is free. Yeah, but it costs a lot of money to get it into electricity form that you can charge your phone on. Government spending alone in this country is astronomical at parts of the budget. We just seem to be spending so much, and we're spending money that doesn't contribute. We're not building hospitals, roads, electricity grids. We're paying into welfare and health care and state pensions and union demands, And I get that. I'm not saying people don't deserve a salary. But the money that we're spending on people who aren't generating anything themselves, i.e. the public sector, is just ludicrous, right? We've gone mad with the money printing, since the great financial crisis, 2008. We had obviously the European bank crisis, 2011, 12, 13. We've had lockdown payments, and now the Ukraine war. We've printed or loaned into existence, as it really is, nearly $1 trillion. Well, that's taxation on our children. Somewhere has to pay that back. We don't print, we loan, we go to markets, and we hope other countries buy our debt that somebody has to pay back at a long-term interest. And that's just, every time we print more money or the market goes bad, that borrowing cost just goes up and up and up. And we're now nearly at 99% of GDP. So we literally are only paying back interest now. I know that global economy is not healthy, so the borrowing cost can get better. People might not always buy our debt, and then we'll default. And I think this is something people just aren't going to see that could happen, right? The growth is the issue. We stifled it by high taxing. We've literally trying to destroy farming. We're trying to destroy pubs with high taxation, just so that we can employ another million into the NHS. I've always believed that in 27 years, the NHS queues are worse, right? You wait for a doctor, to get a doctor appointment, it's all worse. Yet we are spending 3 to 5 times more on it. As any analyst or economics person will tell you, that is ludicrous. It comes from weak political class, right? The UK's politicians are totally out of touch. They're career politicians, subservient to public servants and a public servant class. So they'll never let anybody into power like a Javier Milei or even a Trump. Even Nigel Farage, yes, the political parties are a joke. I consider them a joke. They're ineffectual totally. The Conservatives ran the country down. Labour's making it worse. Reform will do no better. You want to know why? It doesn't matter, because Farage is not going to be able to take on the civil service. Not at all. He just won't. And so the Greens and all these are nothing. So we're going to go into a political wilderness of, probably maybe in the next election, of coalitions, multi-company. We'll be like Italy or Germany, where you'll have 3 or 4 parties all leading the government, and that's when technically nothing gets done. So Labour are clueless, but I give them the fact they were they're out in the wilderness for 14 years. They don't have any experience, So I think the biggest concern I have is socialism. It's coming back. You've got 25% of the youth in the country think a socialist ideology should come into power. Have no idea about what it means, because they are not taught to look at history. And I think that, to me, is the biggest concern for 2026. We're going to see more sectarianism, between religions, between parties, between people of different cultures. We're still hung up on multiculturalism, which doesn't work. It never has. Multi-ethnicity is different. It's when many people of different areas work towards one goal. Multiculturalism is when you arrive in a country, and I know this from first hand, you arrive in the country and all you want to do is find other people like you so you can create a little home, a diaspora home in the new country, instead of just integrating and amalgamating in. It's a new home, forget about the home you've left or go back. So I think it's a really tough thing for the UK. I'm not positive, to the point of, after 27 years, my wife and I are now looking for a plan exit. It's in place, it's starting, be another 2 years. We have no rush to hurry. It's not because it's dire straits. It's just because I want to go where, my money's treated well. I have no issue with paying tax. We pay high taxes, but we work hard. As long as my taxes go for the next generation, I don't mind if we borrow money to build hospitals and new roads and that's prudent debt. Borrowing money to pay people who don't deserve it, and it just doesn't make sense. And I think it is bleak. You see a lot of politicians all saying it's bleak. Some will come out and say it's not. But it is a time of awakening for every one of you. Just whatever country you're in, definitely look around and go, am I being treated well here? You know, we live in an internet, a globalist internet. You can move anywhere in the world nowadays. It's cheap airlines. You can move money in a blink of an eye, win crypto anywhere in the world. Why would you stay where you are not valued anymore? And I understand the patriotism thing, but I'm a nomad of the world, of the planet. So, you know, I don't have a great outlook for the UK this year in light of what's happening in the world. We're just not able to fight our corner anymore, and that's sad. But anyway, this is just my five-minute take. It's gone over 5 minutes, it always does. So thank you for listening. Please like and subscribe and leave some comments if you want. As always, I wish you peace and great beer.